this is Nayalla. Thank you so much for joining me again today. So today what I would like to do is talk about Ascension, because what I've noticed for a while is that there's a lot of confusion around Ascension. There's a lot of confusion about what it means, and when there is confusion, there tends to be fear. And that's really not the energy that we're wanting right now, especially with this collective awakening that is taking place in the world right now and will continue to gain momentum, I am sure, as we move through this year. So if you would like to continue to watch this video and listen to me explain Ascension, then it's really important that what we do to begin with is just push away, scrape back any teachings that we may have had up until this point to do with Ascension. So any religious teachings, anything you've been taught by anybody else, in the spiritual field, in spiritual community. I mean, there may be things that I discuss that will cross over what you've already been taught, but I think it's important that we just scrape everything back and really get to the bone, the bones of it, right? Get really to the root of what Ascension is. So what I have been taught as well is that there's a lot of harvesting going on. There's a lot of harvesting of energy, and that has been taking place for a long time. So there is actually, like I've mentioned in a previous video, I think it was the last energy update, there's grids put on top of things and fear grids put on top of that. So there's the matrix grid and then there's fear grids, and most everything basically, unfortunately, there will be a fear grid put on top of it to try and control you, and that is no different with Ascension. So we have been fed by different sources that there would be a big event taking place, and that would wake up humanity and they would go through this collective ascension. Well, many people for many years, this has been going on for thousands if not millions of years, there has been a continual ascension of consciousness that has been taking place individually, and then obviously you are going to get where there is then collectives where they have jointly come to the same kind of vibration, the same kind of frequency. And what I've been taught is very much coming through from higher consciousness, is to not think of ascension as raising up, so to speak, or moving higher up, but more of expansion and more of coming into our power. So there is different ways to ascend into higher consciousness, which is basically what this is. And yes, there is an event, and the event is an energy event. So it is an energy opening where we can individually and collectively move into higher consciousness. So we've heard that there's going to be solar flares and maybe spaceships and all these other amazing and fantastic stories, which I mean they may materialize. I'm not sure. I can't speak for everybody's individual experience here, but what I've very much been taught is that there is things that are happening, events, so energy events, energy openings, which allow a large cluster of beings to go into a place of higher consciousness. And how that happens is there is a spark of awareness, there is a spark of change, something in their mind just it like literally is just a spark. So a flash of inspiration or a flash of insight will help us to move into higher consciousness. And that is very much what we are seeing playing out on the world stage right now with what is happening. Many people are in a place of questioning. And once you start questioning, you dig a little bit deeper, either into self or outwardly, and then you have to come back into self and really process, and that allows you then to come into this higher consciousness. So we are moving away from learning through pain. When you are able to realize that you can learn in other ways, there then is a healing that takes place, and then you are looking for like a higher path, a path that is going to lead to more fulfillment, more enjoyment. You're making healthier choices. You are inspired by different people. You are looking for new things the whole time. So again, what is happening as a collective and individually to varying degrees is that we, all of us collectively, are moving out of fear. So that fear grid that has been there to do with Ascension and many other things, that is melting away or dissolving, or you're breaking out of it. And as we move out of fear, as that fear grid dissolves, we move into empowerment. So we are seeing, thinking, sensing more clearly. And then what is happening is we are moving into spiritual maturity. So we all individually and collectively have been given this space right now to basically grow up as a collective. Now, like I said before, there are different ways to ascend because we are all individual, and we all decided when we came here on a soul level how we were going to experience our own personal ascension. So obviously, because we are a collective as well, there is going to be like this database, so to speak, where we are all experiencing it individually, but all of our individual experiences will affect the collective experience. So what is happening is that we have people on earth right now that made the decision before they even came here at a soul level of what they were going to experience. And this mass event that is taking place right now, many decided that when this would unfold, that this would be their exit point. So they are transitioning into a new experience. They're going out of the earth plane and going into a different experience. So, as I said before, if we think about ascension as expansion, that those souls that have decided to exit this experience right now, have decided that their soul cannot expand anymore through the human experience. So they now will go and experience other lives, or they may actually now be moving into a place of ascended master or angel, where they are now deciding to help humanity from a non-physical place. So that is what is happening as well. We also have on the earth plane right now many beings that have decided that they would like to experience being an ascended master in physical. So they are staying on the earth plane in the physical realm and will continue to grow and evolve. And we also have ascended masters in training on the earth plane as well. And we also have angels in physical form that have decided they want to experience life as an angel in physical form on the earth plane. And also angels in training as well, which is the same sort of thing. Now, many people are really concerned that they are not on the Ascension timeline. And what I've been told by Metatron to share with you all is that there is no such thing as not an Ascension timeline. Whatever choices you make, whatever timeline you are on, you are always on the Ascension timeline. Because on a soul level, we are always learning, we are always growing, and we are always evolving. So no matter what is going on around you, or even the choices that you make, your soul is always getting something from that. So even those that we may deem as dark forces, I know that is being thrown around a lot right now. The dark forces, you may think that they are not on an ascension timeline, but on a soul level, and I've spoke about this in the Dark Night of the Soul video as well, that you may want to check out and watch, that you can go to the bottom, the lowest of the low, and what actually happens is that you have a profound expansion. You raise into higher consciousness because you hit a low. So you hit a low and then you bounce higher, and that will be what will happen to those dark forces on a soul level when they move out of this experience. And what we are all being asked to do is really hold more of that empowerment vibration, hold more love, and raise into higher vibrations and higher frequencies. So that is ascension within itself. So the more of us that move into a higher frequency, it really prevents that rock bottom to be at the depths as it is right now. So as more of us collectively raise up on the earth plane, then that lower realm dissolves and evaporates, and it no longer exists. It ceases to exist because there's nobody that wants to play around in those lower realms. So the dark forces, they won't have anywhere to play. There's nowhere for them to go. So all of that experience just melts away and dissolves. So then they will have the choice of staying on this earth plane and going through a healing process and changing their ways and changing their outlook and changing their behaviors, or they will ascend in a new way. Well, they will go on to have another experience in another incarnation, or they will go back to source. So there is only ascension. There is only ascension. You can only ever on a soul level ascend. And a lot of people, myself included at one point, got very stuck on just what was playing out on the physical realm and totally neglecting and forgetting that there is the spiritual realm, there is the energetic realm. So when you are so fixated on what is happening on the physical realm, you totally forget all that is going on a soul level, which, like I said, is just growing and expansion. That's all the soul wants to do, is experience so many things so it can grow and evolve. And like I said, because we have got this collective database as well, many souls, made the decision that they would be the ones to go to the lowest realms and experience that, so that we know what happens now. We know what happens when those choices are made, when we behave a certain way as a collective, so that we know moving forward, if these things arise again, should they happen to do so, or even if we go into a place of mentoring other beings in the future, we'll be able to guide them and know, we'll have this higher consciousness now, that if you go down that path, we have the insight to know that this is how it'll play out, more or less. So maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe let's stay away from there and go down a different path. And that is ascension, that is expansion, that is raising up into higher consciousness. So there also is a kind of glass ceiling that has been put on ascension as well when we speak about dimensions. And this is another thing that Metatron is really wanting to get out there right now, is that if you are so focused on raising up to a higher dimension, then you are missing the opportunity to expand in so many other ways. This isn't like an elevator or climbing steps. It's not like that. It's growth. It is growth. It is claiming yourself. It is owning yourself. It is coming into empowerment. It is learning more about yourself on a deeper level. And like I said, it is going into spiritual maturity on an individual level and as a collective. So there is a lot of layers to Ascension. But if you are worrying or panicking or getting yourself in a bit of a state that maybe you've I hear this a lot, missed the boat, or you've missed the opportunity, or you haven't done enough, or time is running out, then please don't worry. Please get all those fears out of the mind, because there is only Ascension path. On a soul level, there is only Ascension path. So whatever you are experiencing in this lifetime, you can only grow from this. You can only expand from this. And we're really being asked to try and come away from this dualistic way of thinking as well. You know, that some people will ascend and other people won't, that some people will wake up and other people won't, because again, on a soul level, for some people's soul growth, it may be that they're not supposed to see things on the physical. Now, on a soul level, it might be very different. The soul may be evolving and growing to amazing heights that are going to help their soul evolution. But on the physical plane, it might look completely different. So it's about not getting hung up on just what is happening on the physical plane right now. Very much, this is an individual job, an inside job from the inside out. So we have to go in, we have to look at our own murky waters and clean ourselves up, and then we will see things playing out in the physical as well. Now, in order for us to clean up our murky water, we have to see the murky water, and that's very much what is playing out in the world right now. We are looking at those bits that maybe we've been brushing under the carpet or not wanted to look at, or being so fixated on going out and working that we've missed things right under our nose. And now, because there's been this global pause, we have no choice but to go in and do the inner work, but also to see certain things that were maybe hidden to us once. And again, that is part of the Ascension path. So the event, you are the event. You are the event. You being more aware, you being more conscious, you being healthier, you being more empowered is the event. And the more of us that do that collective, it is just gaining momentum, gaining power, and really, raising higher heights. So we are all the event. All of us are. We are all the event. We all have been the event, and we all continue to be the event. So again, let's not get hung up on what is playing out on the physical realm, and really realize that there is only growth, there is only expansion, and there is only the Ascension path on a soul level. So I hope that has helped you in some way. I'm going to leave that with you today. I am sending you so much love. I am wishing you a truly amazing day, whatever you decide to do, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Goodbye for now.